Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Game Hub. I'm your host, Gamer K. Yes, I do look a little out of sorts, because one thing, knew I had to be doing this video, and yes, I kind of got a little prepared for it, but at the same time, I'm a little happy that I don't have to, do this video again after I complete it, but I'm pissed off that I have to do said video, and I think I'm starting to feel a little under the weather. Maybe a shower and a shave after this will make me clean of all this. Last year, I started the Assassin's Creed Odyssey DLC Legacy of the First Blade 3-episode pack on DLC, and going through a bad game is one thing, because once you buy, you can choose whether to buy a game or not. And a lot of people review games, mostly, so other people can know if it's worth the money and time, or if it's not worth it. But DLCs are a particular thing, where you don't know it's terrible, or mind-numbingly bad, or great, until you actually download it and play it. And once you finish one, yeah, you can go... people can go on YouTube and watch the DLCs if they don't want to buy it, but for a gamer who actually wants the challenge and adventure, I know this is going on long, but yeah, I've been putting this episode, the final episode of the Legacy of the First Blade, episode 3, Bloodlines. I've been holding this off for a long time because I did the second episode right after my Greece trip, which was about a month and a half, and then throughout September to December, I didn't do it because I was saving it for this week, but I'm happy. I know this intro is running long. Also, I'm just gonna say this: enjoy the Belle Boudoir Femme Fatale photo of my pinup of my J. Scott Campbell Femme Fatale fantasy pinup calendar, because it's most likely the only good thing in this video. Oh, I think I'm coming down with something. So, just for a frickin' recap, the first episode got a 6 out of 10. The second episode got a 4 out of 10 because it was mind-numbingly painful. And this DLC managed to get people so freaking mad because of the ending of the second episode, which is a non-optional. Even if you don't want a romance with Darius's son or daughter, depending on which character you choose. Yeah, I chose to be Cassandra and luckily I did, because technically her version of the story is canon, and with Alexios being the Demos that was raised by the cult of Cosmos. Turns out at the end of the second episode, we decide to have a kid with Darius, his son or daughter, whichever. And the trophy. No, I want to get this right. Yeah, I know I could have written this down on my Cliff Notes thing, but where's the fun in my Legacy of the First Blade? Episode 2, trophies. Let's see. The trophy for finishing the second episode of the game, which also that guy who we helped out in a mission in the second episode turns out to be a Morgus, the guy who's the Order of the Persian border of the Order of Ancients, who we've been killing all DLC long, and it's called Blood of Leonidas, Continue the Bloodline. I'm gonna see if I can find this. Yeah, apparently a bunch of people, a certain number of people were angry at the wording of the trophy for the story, but So, yeah, it wasn't that big of an issue, only it just made the rest of the whole entirety of episode 3 be completely So I'm just going to reiterate this whole thing. So at the end of episode 2, we hook up with Darius's kid, and then we have a kid. So, but I'll get to that when I continue about the game. So during this episode 3, we start out the episode in Messenia. Like, why couldn't we have gone to a different area or a new location for this whole DLC? Because having the Persians Order come to Greece, shouldn't we have gone? I mean, yeah, I know Darius fled there with his son in order to get away from them, but shouldn't we have gone to their stronghold instead of them hunting us down? I'm just saying. So we start out having a regular life with our son and the girl or the guy, who, depending on who you decide to play as, which again is idiotic considering the entirety of Odyssey. We've been given a choice who we want to romance and how, no matter what gender. So I get that the people are mad about that, and honestly, I find it kind of irritating, but so after a small bit of missions where we're playing house, oh God, the Order attacks and tries to take the kid away because he is a Legion of the Bloodline, an assassin bloodline, and, hidden ones, and also the one that came before. And the Order of Ancients wanting to rebuild the issue, I get it. Now, this game came before the one I'm going to mention. So, I'm going to basically spell this out for you guys as easily as I possibly can. After the Order attacks and kills our child's mother or father, we have to find them by killing the Order of Ancients, doing side missions, take our sweet ass time with it, in order to find our kid and take down Amorgus, the Tusk of Persia. And just like the other two halves of the episode, we have to take out the Order of Dominion, which is Amorgus's stronghold set of Order of Ancient members that are throughout the area, and we gotta find them like we did in the last two episodes. with one technically being story-based and Amorgus being the final boss, which the boss fight isn't that bad. We get a good kind of back and forth between them, and I get between either Alexios and Cassandra against Amorgus and Darius as well, which I appreciate. The boss fight at the end is one of the best parts of each episode because it kind of gives us a good challenge. And again, one of them is also story, so we can't miss him. We can either kill him right away or follow him to his hidden hideout, and then we have no choice to kill him. So the option of frickin' letting him live for a little bit doesn't really affect anything. We still need to kill this one in order to progress. Wow, it's been 10 minutes. Not since my Benedict Arnold missions in Assassin's Creed 3 DLC have I hated going through a DLC this bad. Oh, my head hurts. So, the game consists of 13 main missions and 3 side missions that I can't even remember because they were so unmemorable. So what I'm getting at here is that this episode is a slog. It's like, for the fact that we need to rescue our son from these people, you'd think we'd have more people helping us. You know, like we didn't spend an entire main game gathering allies who could have helped. Seriously, why wasn't that the plot? Why not, instead of doing all this random bullshit and eliminating the Order, I mean, yeah, we'd still have to eliminate the Order members, but why not we send Ikaros to our allies in a good majority of locations to have them help us? Oh, wait, they saved that for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So again, I'm more mad about the situation and the build that they went with this episode instead of the overall gameplay of the story. Okay, actually, no, that's not true. I hate it all! Like I said, the boss fight is the final boss is one of the only good things in this game. Because the side missions are unmemorable. I can't even remember half of the missions, and I got a pretty good memory. I can recite every single case from all 6 CSI Las Vegas games by memory. And, okay, yeah, I played them recently last year. But at the same time, I could have done that without being told. But this game, Odyssey, has been the bane of my Assassin's Creed existence since it came out. And yes, I played it. Because I was curious, because it's my heritage, it's my Greek heritage, and they botched it. Obviously, this was how they were trying to go into the more RPG style of gaming, which I'm hoping we don't go back to in the new ones. Oh my God, what else? Oh, yeah, we got 7 members of the Order of Dominion to take out. So 2 that are main story. So that leaves 5 to track down. Which, again, is a bit of a slog. Because, again, unlike the Cult of Cosmos, we could have gotten to actually see their plan like we did. But, again, we're not a hidden one. So I guess it doesn't really count. Unless you have a hidden blade attached that you don't get to see any cool shit. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have, aside from Mirage, in my life, I've replayed each Assassin's Creed game at least twice. Brotherhood and Revelations, and 3, I replayed 3 times, and Black Flag I replayed 4 times because it was so great. I refuse to replay Odyssey ever again because it's such a boring slog, and the game injected that into this final episode because it's a generic slog. That is, it's 3 to 4 hours long. This DLC is 3-4 hours long, but it felt longer because of all the tracking and the constant need for somewhat stealth sections when this game isn't based on stealth, which made it longer because you can't cheese your way through scenarios like you could in Valhalla, where even though stealth wasn't a big option, you still had choices because it still had that sandbox feel of it that Syndicate had. I mean, Origins had somewhat like that, but for the most part, Valhalla had a sandbox feel to it with how you tackle your missions and the scenarios. This, you have either 2 options. Try stealthily to get through things, fail, and then do combat, or just go straight into the combat. And again, at least Valhalla gave us our Viking Legion in order to help us in combat half the time. This game, you're on your own, but you're supposed to... Okay, yeah, with the special abilities that they give us, you feel like a one-man army, but it feels more like a one-man whack-a-mole. So I mentioned that this game is like another game. I'm going to explain. So, our newborn child, our mother, the other parent is murdered within the beginning of the episode. So we have to spend the entire game looking for our kid, killing people who may know where they are. They really could have done some better story with that, with each member of the Order, but to no avail. And then after we kill Amorgus, and him and Darius have a good heart-to-heart about everything and how the Order isn't a person, it's an idea, and how they've injected themselves into the Greek world so that the Greek Order of Ancients will happen. We could have just had that. We didn't need the Persian Order to come. We could have... But, of course, we had the Cult of Cosmos, which, again, is so annoying, so lazy, but at the same time, I get it. Oh, my God, my head. I don't even care about the main trophies in this game or the special abilities in it. I don't care, because it just feels so same. So, yeah, I'm getting to my point. So, does this sound familiar? Infant child is kidnapped. We hunt the people responsible. We take our sweet-ass time. And then afterwards, the child is sent to live with Darius in secret. Does any of that kind of sound familiar? I know this game came out first, but it's almost like this was a preset, a demo, if you will. And we being the superhuman parent have to try to save the child. If this still isn't getting through to people, it's almost like this was a demo for Resident Evil Village. Yeah! I just thought of that now. I just thought of that when I was writing this list. I was going through the cutscenes again because I'm not playing the whole DLC ever again. This episode is literally a set Resident Evil 8. It's Village. It's fucking Village. Without awesome steampunk dude, creepy marionette, loner fish dude, and vampire mommy with her 3 gothic but weirdly hot daughters. This fucking episode is a slog to get through. And, okay, yeah, I know for some of the DLCs we get a big revelation. Like, what happened in between Ezio becoming a member of the Brotherhood and defeating Rodrigo with the two sequence gap. Everything else extra in Brotherhood. The tyranny of King Washington. Okay, Black Flag really didn't have a DLC, but the DLC should offer something interesting. But no, this is the big twist that they do. So, after the episode is pretty much done, we get a small video of Darius walking with our child as the child grows older. And then we find ourselves in Egypt, where Cassandra is writing a note to her son saying, "For you and the ones to come before, and the ones to come before, or the ones to come next." And it shows Aya from Origins on the Sphinx, indicating that Aya is also a member of a descendant of the Isu and is Cassandra's great-grandchild. Excuse me for a second. Here we go. Are you fucking kidding me? That is what this whole thing was for? A background on Aya, who is playable for a naval mission and a goddamn final boss. Are you out of your fucking minds? Are you legitimately serious? So technically, if I'm thinking about this, the order in Egypt technically got to do what Omorgus couldn't, and killed the son of a hidden one, and a blood of the Isu when he killed Hemut. We got background information on a character who had very little screen time, was not playable except for 2 small sections, and doesn't even matter. That's what this Legacy of the First Blade was all about. Not about Cassandra kind of understanding the Hidden Ones and the Order. Just defending Darius, romancing with his kid, producing an heir, and that heir released Aya into the world for a game that happened afterwards. Never before has a DLC been kind of so unnecessary, so beyond what was needed. I mean, at least in the last episode of The Tyranny of King Washington, Connor reveals that because he's good at sailing, that it's in his bloodline. And the captain asks, Mr. Faulkner asks, because this is the alternate world, "Oh, your father was a sailor? My grandfather was a pirate." And that was what was next. He gave us a reveal that was about the next game, Black Flag. This game gave us information on something that already happened. We didn't need to know this because it doesn't add any information. It doesn't change anything that happened in Origins. So it's like they kind of backpedaled. Like if Odyssey had happened first, with the Cult of Cosmos first. And then during the DLC, we get the Order of Ancients. And then at the end of it, then we see Aya. We don't know who she is. So we think she would have been the first, the playable character when Origins would if they released Origins afterwards. Then we would have seen the Order of Ancients and all those amazing scenes that we got when we killed the members, which are also top tier for me. But they did it in reverse. They gave us the awesomeness first, and then they gave us the crap, garbage, and backpedaling second. It makes no sense. I mean, yeah, I get prequel stuff can happen and can work if it's done right and gives us something unique and interesting about the story that we didn't know before. But it doesn't work here. It's just a boring slog for a Resident Evil Village demo. Story demo, at least. Oh, my God. But when I boil down to it, there's a lack of innovation. There's a lack of suspense, considering we're doing a whole bunch of stuff while our kid is missing. Like, we could have had our allies help out. And each kind of section in the game, we could have worked with one of our allies. You know, maybe our mother or our father or fucking Alexios. We could have brought him in and asked him to help save his nephew. Like, they just took the laziest creative decisions in this and decided to make it so mind-numbingly boring. I mean, it's not about the decision that they did at the end of episode 2. I'm past that. What they did afterwards was so lazy and bare bones. Like, there's nothing to this game. It's all skeleton. There's no muscle. There's no nothing that hold it together and give it strength. It's just flimsy. Oh my God. I can't believe I've gone on about this for so long. Normally my DLCs are very quickly half the time, but this one needs to be done. So I've come full freaking circle. Episode 1 got a 6. Episode 2 got a 4. It makes sense because of no innovation. For the last episode of a 3-episode saga, you'd think the final would be grand and collective. I mean, it should. But it doesn't. There's no risk. There's no threat. There's no big threat. It's not like the Tyranny of King Washington, where we gather allies and one of our own dies, or in the Spider-Man one, where Black Cat makes a quick return to save our ass. We team up with Silver Sable. We do all this extra stuff that leads us into the next game, but this one goes backwards because it had nothing to offer. Gamer K's final verdict for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Legacy of the First Blade, Episode 3, Bloodlines is a bloodletting and basic 5 out of 10. It avoids being a 4 or 3 because at least the boss of Amorgus does something. It gave us a little bit of closure. And also, the one guy that we do kill gives us a little bit of background, a little bit on why the Order is doing what they do. Even though he knows some of the stuff is wrong, he's devoted to his country of Persia. That could have been great. We could have had that guy intervene with Amorgus near the end, but then Amorgus kills him because he sees him as a threat to the Order. Even though he was devoted, but it's because of a different idea. They could have done that. And I'm just thinking of this now. I'm coming up with better ideas now than all that Ubisoft did for this whole DLC. And I'm fucking glad. I'm glad I'm done with this. I am through, and I never have to talk about Odyssey ever again unless it's on a bad list. Okay. I've tortured myself enough with this review. I've tortured myself enough. So here's the deal. If you guys want me to torture myself again, like, comment, subscribe down below. Hope you enjoyed my ranting and my anger towards this. If you guys want me to review the episodes of The Fate of Atlantis, either, you know what? A couple of my videos have reached over almost, like one of my videos last year reached 1,000 views, which I'm really surprised. And one of them has reached over 900, and I'm a cheap Canadian YouTuber. I'm a cheap Canadian production, and I never thought a lot of my videos would get a lot of views. So here's what I'm going to do. If I can get, you know what, I don't want to be super ambitious. If I can get at least 150, about 150 subscribers, 150, because I'm at 102 right now. If I can get 48 or more subscribers onto my channel, I will then plan out to do the Fate of Atlantis DLC episodes. I make a promise to that. And at one point, I hope you guys do, because I actually did enjoy that one to a limit, to an extent, but at the same time, I hope you guys don't. My head hurts. Join me next week, where I end February with a ranking video that is definitely a mind. Wait a minute, why can't I say mind? What do you mean it's being censored? I can't use it? Oh, come on, he said... Okay, yeah, what do you mean it's a kid's game? Have you seen those games? No way. Okay, yeah, they slyly put stuff like that in the game, but... Okay, fine, I'll think of something else to say about it. Join me next week where I end February by going over a ranking video where we'll be going into the crazy minds that was explored by one courageous and rebellious cadet. This is Gamer K logging out, and I swear if I actually do get 150 subscribers, the Fate of Atlantis is in your hands, guys. And it's kind of funny because I just watched Atlantis: The Lost Empire last night. Timing. This is Gamer K logging out.